one of the things I wanted to talk about, and this has, you're not, you expressed a desire when we were talking about recording these sessions that you didn't want to talk about how to be a mother of teenagers, because
Didn't want to act like I knew all about that.
I wanted to. Comes from our experience and your memory of being a teenager in our house, and what you see happening with your little ones. It seems to me that if you're going to paint a house, one of the things a good painter would do is get a good base coat on. You know, how do you prime it? How do you get it ready? And it
Prepare for the teenage years.
how do you prepare for the teenage years? And it seems to me that one of the fundamental things that you're acquiring when your kids are all little, when they're preschool or elementary school age, is you're cultivating and developing a profound sense of loyalty, and we're all in this together. And if that's established, if that's sort of in the system, in the way, just the way they identify themselves and think of themselves, then a large number of teenage problems will just be taken care of automatically. Could you talk about how you see cultivation of loyalty, family loyalty among your little ones?
Well, we talked a bit about this earlier, but that children are born with a hypocrisy sensor. They just know when you're not doing things because of what, they know when you have a bad intention about something. And something that I have seen not just happening in families, but actually recommended for families with a lot of children. Like, this is the way you should do it. A lot of it is talking like the mother is the center and everybody needs to help her with what she is doing. But I think it is not that I have a problem with you bringing kids in to say we're all chipping in because this is our home. But there is a real disconnect there of like, we don't care how bad the kid's attitude is so long as they're getting their little checklist done, or so long as they're all helping me with my work. And I think fundamentally it's taking an actual real interest in how your children are doing. Like, it's not just wanting them to just do things right. It's wanting them to
be right.
Be right, yes, exactly. Like, you have to do this with a good attitude. We have to be in fellowship while you do this, or it's not, it's defeating the whole purpose. And while I think that to some people that probably sounds really overwhelming, like you have to make sure that you're always in fellowship. Once you work on that, it's pretty easy to tell when someone is.
So grumpy obedience is disobedience. Delayed obedience is disobedience. Grumpy obedience with an attitude is not obedience at all.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Right.
So do you drop everything to address that, or just?
Yes. Although or you need to be addressing it somehow. Right. Not necessarily like pause everything and we're going to deal with this. I know there have been times in our house where we'll say something like, I want you to go sit on your bed and think about this while I'm doing this, and I'm going to come talk to you in a minute. Right. It's not like freeze everyone, I saw a grumpy face. Right. But as far as interacting with that, your kids are doing that because they're sending you signals. I mean, it's not like they're just, right. they're giving you feedback that you need to be responding to. And I know we have a 7-year-old who recently there was a sister dispute between a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and it was a really funny one where the actual upset was about some accusations that someone was being boastful about something, and we were all out of fellowship about it. Like, it was but because it was such a petty little thing that they were out of fellowship about, and because we were in the car, I was saying, okay, stop, like, just stop, like, you can't be. And I was like, but she's being so provoking. I was like, stop, because it's a sin to be provoked. It's like, but she said, like, it just kept on, it just wouldn't quit, like, and it was such a funny, like, why are we having this trouble about this? So when we got home, a few minutes later, I felt like we were actually in a full throttle big problem. And so I sent the guiltier party to my room, and when I went up to talk to her, it was just still there. This like, but she said, but she did, and it was great for me because I said, okay, tell me what happened. So she told me the whole story of what happened, which was in fact just as petty as I knew it was, and just as not important. But as soon as she finished, and I said, now do you see how you were wrong to be? And she's like, yes, and she really is my best friend, and I don't know, it was just a total, wasn't hard, it wasn't deep, it was just and talking to Luke about it, we realized that the thing was, it wasn't a refusal to let go of the sin. She wasn't going to let go of me. It was like, don't stop talking to me about this because I'm not okay. Like I'm having this problem here and I need you to deal with it. And if I had, if she would have just been quiet, the sin happened. Like it was between them and she knew it wasn't okay there.
But if you just clamped,
but if I was just putting a wall between you bringing it to me, it wasn't like I was getting in at an angle to prevent the sin. I was just trying to make her stop telling me about it. Like, okay, please don't tell me that. But of course I wasn't saying don't bring it to me. I was saying let it go. You need to not, whatever. Right. But that was a great thing for us to really see now that our kids are starting to get a little older, and it is bringing it back to loyalty, the issue of actually wanting to help them deal with something rather than just trying to get done with that problem. Like this is not just a little obstacle in my day. It's something that she really needs help working on.